Hey, I'm right back with another video. It's 2:08 p.m. It is Tuesday afternoon, January, I believe it's January 8th. I believe it is. Anyway, so I'm kicking back here and just kind of like relaxing. I've had some strange burst of energy in the last few days, which I'm very grateful for. It kind of helped me, like, do things around the house that I really should have done, Um, as you know, I kind of moved in here in kind of a hurry, this apartment. And I've been here for a while, but, it's like, I was limited on funds, and I didn't have, you know, some of the things I needed to do to really get organized. So I'm like, I don't have, like, I'm not trying to spend a bunch of money or anything, but I do need a few things, like I need some organizational stuff. So, last night I couldn't sleep. There's days where I hit the pillow, and then there's days where, I deal with the insomnia. And a lot of it really wasn't this issue so much, this gang stalking issue. A lot of it was like, I need to do something. I just got to do something. And so, when I get like that, it's kind of good because it's motivating, and I guess it's a natural process. I am angry about the GS issue. I'm very upset about that, as you know. I made hundreds of videos about it, but I'm kind of chilling out from it. Not to say that I'm like, oh, we should be best friends, for the perpetrators, but I'm saying is that, and I seriously look at things deeply, I keep thinking, we are fed garbage from the time that we hit this earth. It's like we are fed so many things, institutional things, that are handed down to us to believe and to act and do certain things without really understanding why we're doing it. And some of us are walking around, some people, I should say, not me, but there's a lot of people who are walking around with these, like, biases and prejudice, and not so much, yeah, prejudice, but racism. Some people are just, religious freaks for the very fact that it makes them feel good and it strokes their ego. And some people, there's just a lot of imbalance, and I think the reason why, and I will say that earthly life is hell, meaning it's hell because there's so much of these, I hate to use the word demonic, but it's a negative influence that's just like all over the place, and it's in everything that we see. Not all churches are preaching good things. They act like they are, but not all churches are going to help formulate a strong spiritual bond. Like I said, there's many reasons why people do things, and some people do it for material gain, for networking purposes or whatever. But so, there's so much either evil or ignorance. There's a lot of ignorance, even though we live in a society that claims to be so educated, when in reality, you look at the situation, it's like, are you really? Are you really? People don't appreciate knowledge to where they incorporate things in their active life. It's like, I feel as though if you studied certain earth sciences, okay, for example, I think that you should be able to acquire enough knowledge to be able to navigate your way through a difficult situation. If you are placed in nature, under circumstances that were beyond your control. Let's just say, for example, somebody dropped you off, you guys were camping, and something happened to your partner became, I don't know, handicapped or whatever, but you have to survive in nature, okay? You should be able to understand, what plants are safe to eat and which ones aren't, and these certain things. It's like, where is the knowledge? Where is the retention of the knowledge? And people don't. It's like a process that they go through, and it's just to get the process done. It's more like a status symbol, but it's not really an appreciation is my issue. And there's a lot of these stupid, pompous people running around who think that they know it all. You had the opportunity to know it all, okay, but you showed no appreciation for it. This is my issue, okay? So there's a lot of imbalance. And I personally think that people are not going to be happy unless they, of course, they live to their truest nature, their true natural calling in life. Okay, that's the purpose why we're here. And I personally do think that that's one of the challenges. Okay, because you might, it's like, I'm a very focused person. You know, I'm a very focused person, and I focus on what I want to do. Okay, and because of certain issues that allowed me to develop these sort of skills, you know, as a child. I mean, I had friends, okay, but I didn't have like close friends, you know, to where like the kid was coming around, we're going to each other's house all the time, and this sort of thing. I've always had the ability to, whether that be forced upon me or because it was circumstance, whatever, you know, or it was my choice or whatever. Um, it allowed me to develop into my own self. Okay. And I'm grateful for that. And the reason why is it's not that I can't learn from other people, because there's a lot of things I've learned from other people. I've learned from their experiences. I've learned from the stories that they've told me. You know, you can learn from other people. Okay. But, the thing is that most people in their need to grow, you know, on different levels, whether that be emotional, spiritual, whatever, they are, instead of focusing on themselves, they focus on other people. And they focus on other people. They're nitpicking this person that's doing this. Meanwhile, they never achieve what it is that they really want. They don't do that. Okay? They don't do it because they don't know how to focus. Okay? And I do have good focus. I do. I've dealt with gang stalking for, I sometimes sit back and think, okay, this year this bullshit happened. I remember this particular time I was at work and this issue happened. So when I start thinking way back, I can see how long this has gone on, okay? And I've mentioned this before, not trying to sound like a broken record. But you start to see that, you know, there are some people who don't understand mental clarity or mental focus, and they take a personal offense to it when you don't want to do the things that they want to do. Like, for example, the whole hot look issue, which I think I roll my eyes at this all the time. It's like, not every woman is supposed to wear clothes from Hot Look. Okay, not every white woman is supposed to be blonde. Okay, not every black person is supposed to rock an afro. Not every, it's like, you know, it doesn't work that way. People have their own preferences. And I do understand, like, for example, when you're in a nice workplace where, you know, there's a certain code, or there's a certain, like, because there's some places have certain standards, like, you know, some law offices. Okay, you see the lawyers, they're always in suits. The lady at the front desk, she's always in a nice outfit. Okay, she's not in, like, you know, her flip-flops, her shoes, or whatever, you know, those kind of t-shirts. She's not like that. Okay, so I know how to clean up well when I have to. Okay, but my personal time, you know, I can wear whatever I want. But see, this is the issue of gang stalking, is you have these imbalanced people, which people are imbalanced all over the place. And that's not to say that I don't have imperfections, because obviously I do. Okay, I have imperfections. Okay, and I try to learn from that. And when it's easier for me to, what do you call it, focus and create the changes that I want in myself, because I don't deal with the garbage. I don't deal with people's baggage. Okay, I don't want their baggage. I don't want it. And some people are so desperate to hang on to friendships that they'll hang on to these people that are actually damaging them. And most people are damaging to you. I hate to say it, but it's true. You know, most people, including your own family, can be very damaging to you. Okay, because if they don't see things their way, if you don't see things their way, then you're just, you know, kind of on the outskirts. And it's not that, you know, I feel as though that my lifestyle or my beliefs was anything offensive to my family. It was just different than my family, you know. And so, you know, I am who I am, you know, and people should be who they are, whatever that might be. You know, like, some people are just real quirky. Some, you know, I've seen some, you know, I don't know, like some people who wear like a shitload of tattoos. They got the body piercings. And I was thinking about that this afternoon. I was taking a shower as the water was cascading down my back, and I was super warm and toasty, and I was like, man, I don't want to get out of the shower. But anyway, But I was thinking about those kind of people, and just people in general who obviously, okay, are have some sort of issue that their family resents or whatever. And I keep thinking, okay, I personally think, I wouldn't want to tattoo my body. I wouldn't want to have body piercings, especially, all these issues and modifications that are permanent, okay? But I really do believe that these people have some sort of calling as to what they're supposed to act out and live out. As long as they're not hurting another person, these people have the right to do this, and I believe that they do. Now, they're not welcome in certain places to work, like in a law office or a beautiful, fine, I don't know, one of those fine type department stores that used to exist, which hardly exists now. Okay, I'm talking about back in the day when those really were upscale type places like that, that were available to the general public. People are all online these days, but you know what I'm talking about. It's just certain things, certain subcultures of people or whatever, okay? They exist, okay? And I think it's a part of their spiritual evolution. They may never be that way forever. They may change their mind, because they experienced something that they needed to experience. Okay, I think it's a part of our growing process. And then there's some people who adopt that kind of stuff for forever. Now, these people aren't the same groups of people, but you see motorcycle people, right? Some motorcycle people, you see some of these old men driving on their motorcycles. They've been doing that since, wow, I don't know, the 60s or so. And you think, wow, didn't you outgrow that? No, they didn't outgrow it. It's who they are. Okay, and then some people, they adapt a certain interest and then they walk away from it because maybe it is no longer something that they are interested in because they evolved from that or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's a part of who they are in order to get to whatever destination they're going to be a part of, Like there's these certain people who look like that are not all bad. Like I knew this one guy, he was like that. And he, a lot of tats and, and just whatever. But he was a very emotional type guy, okay? Very soft-hearted. And he liked things like poetry and expressing himself, And that was a part of it, especially, and he was telling me how much he liked a lot of that Victorian stuff. And I guess nowadays Victorian stuff is now like, I guess that might be like a goth type thing now. I don't know. But it's kind of like an exaggerated way of expressing that time period. I don't know. Maybe, I guess that's the way it is. I don't know. I wouldn't know too much about that. But it kind of seems that way. And so it gives him, through this process that he has went through, he has developed a liking for poetry, and he has developed his writing skills. He has developed and grown that way. Now, 30 years from now, I haven't seen this guy in a long time, but 30 years from now, he might be wearing some of those old men pants that my dad hated, those old men pants and those, what do you call, buffalo plaid shirts, and be driving a truck. You don't know that, but whatever it is, I believe let people be, as long as they're not hurting anybody. Now, if people have some sort of deviant behavior to where they're causing harm on another person, that is when it becomes a problem. We're talking about people who, molest children. We're talking about people who abuse children physically, abuse women, abuse their spouses, who steal, who cheat, who, rob, whatever, kill, all the bad things, that you shouldn't do that directly affect your fellow man, okay? Then that's an issue, okay? So I accept people how they are. I accept it, and I'm comfortable with it. I don't feel threatened by other people's lifestyle. A lot of times people see the way that you live your life and they take it personally, like the hot look thing, okay? They want you to like what they like. So by you saying you don't want to do this, they think, well, don't you like me? Look at all the great things. This is what I want you to like, okay? That's a sign of insecurity. It's a huge sign of insecurity. So it's like, if that, it doesn't necessarily mean that, it's like, not everybody looks good in hot look clothes. Okay, now there were some cute outfits I saw in hot look. Was it called hot look? Yeah, hot look. There was some cute clothes that I saw in hot look. Okay, but and I did look at the outfits, but maybe they wanted me to put an order online like immediately after I saw. I don't know what their deal was, okay? But there was this constant thing about changing the way that I dress. There's nothing wrong with the way that I dress, okay? When I'm at work, if the standard is women wear dresses, slacks, suit pants, whatever, then that's what Maria's going to wear, okay? And she's not going to wear something funky. She's not going to wear anything plaid. But if it's like, well, you can just come into work, and there really is no dress code, well, guess what? Maria's going to wear whatever the hell she wants to wear, okay? As long as it's not, revealing, provocative, whatever you want to call it. It's appropriate, okay? So I think people have made a huge issue out of nothing. And what bothers me so much is that some of these people I knew for a long time, like the people on Facebook, and I'm thinking, wow, it's like, what were you saying? What did you make? What kind of statement you made when you did this? Like, what were you saying? Why would you attack me like this? Why would you? I mean, I don't interact with these people, not very much at all, really. I mean, why would you do this? And I think a lot of it is pent up racism. A lot of it is that elitism. A lot of it is, well, look what I'm doing these days, and I don't want you doing anything, or, you shouldn't have this, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what it is exactly. I think it's a combination of it all, probably. But whatever the case is, when you really know people, no one really knows anyone. That's just, it's a fact, okay? I mean, I've talked to people who were married for like years, and they're like, there's always something new I discover about this person, and there's a lot of things that people will never share with another person. You know what I mean? And so what I kept thinking is what maybe I liked when I was growing up, I liked their mask, and I talked about masks before. Masks are the image that they project on the outside when they're in a social setting, when they're being funny, when they're laughing, when they're talking, and then when they take that mask off, they are doing other things to put the wheels in motion to literally hurt you in every possible way. So, I'm careful about people, okay? I'm very careful about people. And I don't take things personally. I will not take this issue personally. Like, I won't. The reason why I say that is like, I'm not like the woe is me type person. I've been dealt an injustice, and I think people should know about it, okay? I will tell you the reason why is because when you start hurting people and preventing them from mobility, meaning like moving, doing things that they need to do, living their life, which I have every right to, then you're damaging a person, you're abusing a person, okay? And then you're having other people, for whatever reason, abuse me as well. And you're like, wow, what kind of person did I used to like so much? What kind of person is that? And so you start thinking, man, there's a lot of mask wearers out there, a lot of mask wearers. While you're sitting here, they are inviting you to lunch. Meanwhile, in the back of their mind, they're plotting your demise. So I have to be careful about people like that. Now, I think that I'm a decent person, and I'm not saying that, I'm greater or better than everyone, but I will say that I'm more mature, or I don't like to use the word mature for several reasons. I would say that I'm better off when it comes to my outlook on life. I'm better off the way that I am, okay? And what these people have done kind of proves it, okay? I don't want to be anything like that at all, okay? I don't want to. You go ahead and live your life, and I will live mine, and some people say, well, don't you, isn't it sad that you're so this, and everybody's goddamn lonely these days. I mean, everybody. There's people I talk to online, and I'm like, and I see online, and I see articles written online about how people are bored and they're isolated. Everybody is basically isolated at this point. But there's reasons why, there's deeper issues as to why I was isolated. I was the enemy in this town and other places for a very long time over an issue I had nothing to do with or even knew about. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm trying to, sorry to get off subject. What I really want to say was, is that I'm, believe it or not, even though I was talking about this issue for a very long time, believe it or not, I just really, I'm angry, but it's getting a little bit better. Meaning, I'm not like, like I was a year or so ago. I it was very dark for me. You know, and and it's still dark because I understand the nature of these freaks that did this shit. But you know what I mean? It's like the shock is kind of over. Like I'm not as stunned and like bewildered. It's like, okay, it's sinking in. So now I accept that this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. This is a very common shitty attitude, lifestyle, belief system, whatever you want to call it, that people fall into. It is common. So it's like I mentioned before, that I look at it kind of like, the Walking Dead type thing. Like where I'm a normal person and I'm just kind of strolling down the street and anybody can be one of these zombie people is basically how I look at it. And I have to be safe, you know what I mean? I will never, ever allow myself. And I didn't allow myself. These people were like manipulating shit for the longest time. But I will never be so naive to believe in the mask ever, ever again. Okay? I learned my lesson. So anyway, but the burst of energy thing is that it's good. I haven't really slept a lot in a few days. There's different kinds of insomnia. There's insomnia where you worry, and then there's like this burst of energy where you want to do everything. So what I did was last night is I got up out of bed because I couldn't sleep, and I came in and I organized my threads. Okay, and before all my threads, these threads, right? All my threads are in this little bushel here, right? Just thrown in. They had started mingling and tangling with each other, and I ended up having to, I had like little. I have like regular size threads, all different sizes, right? Like you saw just on the desk a few minutes ago, and I even had those little tiny ones that you get in those little sewing kits. And I'm like, okay, I would love to save every single last spool, and I hate throwing stuff away. But I had to literally throw some of that shit in the trash. It was like, this is ridiculous, And some of these colors I had are duplicates. Like I didn't realize, because my drawer was so junky that I didn't realize I already had the color, and I went out and bought the same color, and I replaced it. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I need to get a thread box is what I need, okay? I used to have one of those wooden things where you put all the spools on there, but I have more thread than that would actually fit on that wood. And then also, I need something that's compact because I realize how small this place is. And so I'm trying to make more room is basically the reason why I was cleaning. So I wanted to make more room and I want to be more organized, and I need to go through my craft drawer, and I got a bunch of buttons, zippers, all kinds of stuff. Like, little notions here and there that I need to get the proper organizers for, and that would be good because I really want to clean this place out. I asked a lady, I don't know, she didn't send me a text back, but I had some wine glasses that I had here, and I'm like, I don't drink wine. So, I just want to get rid of shit out of my house. I want to get rid of shit, Anyway, so I'm going to wrap up this video. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have another burst of energy tonight or not. Or if I'm going to, just be able to fall asleep right away. I feel like there's other things I want to do. But I think it might be because it's like some adrenaline issue or something. It's biological, I think it is, because I'm accepting certain things in my mind and I'm not as like, I'm traumatized, but I'm dealing with my trauma to where I'm not like, dysfunctional, So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will be back with another video later. Bye-bye.